For a perfect 10 album, we picked Histoire de Mélodie Nelson from Serge Gainsbourg. It's a very important album for us. It's one of the albums that we used to listen a lot together when we were teenagers and at school, and it was a reference for all the music scene back in Versailles. Serge Gainsbourg was a big influence, and also Jean-Claude Vanier, the arranger, who did half of the composition and the strings arrangements. And there's a lot of elements in this album that we think it's typically French pop music, and we took some of these elements to introduce them in our style of music. So that's where we stole a lot of ideas, actually.
Yeah, as Nicolas said, it's a very influential album for us, but also for all our friends, like the musicians in France that we know. We all knew this album very well, and it has been like the perfect example of something deep, like a poetic album. It's all written in French. It's like some French poetry, but in a very unique style, very elegant, but also in a very dirty way, disturbing way. And so I think that for now, if you translate the words of this album, it's almost like impossible that people listen to it now, because it's like very subversive and it's not very fashionable now to speak like this. But that's what we like this album, because it's kind of like disturbing and it's like on the edge, it's like borderline, I would say. The orchestration, like the string orchestra, is absolutely brilliant because it's very expressive, sometimes like unique in terms of tones, super expressive, and also it's a concept album. So it deals with a subject from start to finish, and it's something which is hard to do nowadays, to have like a sort of concept that you can expand from the beginning to the end. Our album, Moon Safari, for example, our first album, is a bit like that. There is a line, like a sort of a following guide doing all the songs, and it's something that is really inspiring to do. That's why Melody Nelson has been very important for us.
The sound of the bass and the arpeggios of the acoustic guitar, these two elements very important for me, and I got inspired for that when I created my sound for Moon Safari. When it was done, I wanted to change my sound in the bass and the guitars, but at the time it was a statement important for me to pay my respect to this kind of production.